Here we go. All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Dr. Roslyn Shaw Belt. Everybody calls me Dr. Roz, and I am the CEO of Dream to Life Productions and Ministry. I'm a wife, a musician, videographer. God has blessed me to do a number of things, but what I'm most proud about is that I've got 2 doctorates. One's in theology and one's in divinity. So I'm not a medical doctor, but I am a certified wellness coach here at Akana, and I am the VP of Communication. And Akana is the name of our company, which means in the hands of God. We launched our company on 4/20 of 2019, started out with a line of CBD products, essential oils, and wellness, moved on and expanded to 2021 to a flat belly lifestyle that you're going to hear a little bit about. We've got over 28,000 customers. Really, this slide is old, so it's more than that now. But we're really, really proud to reinvest 1% of our gross profit to empower undeserved communities. We've got a full medical advisory board. We've got naturopaths and chiropractors and RNs and LVNs and child psychologists and clinical psychologists and just general practitioners. And they don't just endorse our products, but they use our products for themselves, their families, and their patients. Now, before we talk about your scan results, and I hope that you have them, I hope that you have them on your phone, or maybe you printed them out, or whatever the case may be, I want to talk about something that we may already know, and that's about what is the top cause of death. That's heart disease, right? We've heard it for years. But what we don't recognize, and even in 2020, just a few years ago, nearly 700,000 people died from heart disease, and 25% of them didn't find out until death. But 90% of them could have found out that heart disease was preventable. Now, that's what's powerful. That's what's atrocious, to know that those kind of numbers. And then we move on to cancer, and we move on to COVID-19 as other leading causes of death. But what you might not know, that just before the pandemic, there was a third leading cause of death, and that was medical error. Yes, recent studies of medical errors have estimated that over 251,000 deaths because of medical error, being diagnosed with something that really you shouldn't have been diagnosed with. And so the problem that we have, most of us, when it comes to disease, one, we don't recognize that disease is progressive. And secondly, we don't understand what is causing it. Why do I have cancer? Why am I diabetic? Why am I having blood pressure conditions? Well, one of those crucial things, or the primary cause, is the lack of oxygen. And there's a reason that we have the lack of oxygen. And fortunately for you, that bioscan showed you areas in your body, and we're going to go through that, where the lack of oxygen has been taking place. A second reason is because of the increase of mucus and parasites. Mucus from the food that we've been eating that has over time, and you're going to hear me say that over and over again, because we're not talking about what you did last week, last month, or last year. We're talking about what has been happening over time. Because disease is progressive. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens over time. So mucus builds up, and parasites. If you don't think there are parasites that take place in your body, I dare you to take a piece of meat and pour Coca-Cola on it and watch what comes out of it. It's something you don't even want to look at. And then what about the toxins? We are so toxic as a people, as a society, with all the packaged food, with all the fried food, with all the fast food. And so we've got to get these toxins out of our body, even when we walk outside and just breathe the air. And then deficiencies in our vitamins that we're not getting because of being in the house all the time. We're not getting any sun. We're cooking all of the vitamins out of the food that if we get something that's nutritious, our body's not absorbing, so we're not getting the necessary vitamins. Even as we grow older, we're lacking the vitamins that even certain foods, my husband says it, he says, even meat doesn't sizzle like it used to, right? So we're deficient. And then lastly, one of the things that's causing disease is having an acidic body. We will learn in this few minutes that you're going to be here tonight that your body, if it becomes alkaline, disease cannot dwell there. Now, as I said, I'm not a medical doctor, so I always like to lean to hearing the voices of medical physicians or wellness experts. So let's take a listen to this little short video.
2/3 of adults are now overweight or obese, and we have an epidemic cascade of debilitating disease that's overcoming the country. There's no way we can sustain the current style of care with the epidemic that we're creating with our diet and lifestyle choices.
The diabetes, the arthritis, the heart disease, the dementia, the obesity, the cancers are affecting about 70% of deaths. All the data is that those 70% of deaths and morbidity are largely lifestyle related and preventable.
Most kids by age 10 in the U.S. already have fatty streaks in their arteries, the first stage of atherosclerosis leading to heart attacks, strokes.
Here in American medicine, we operate from the disease model. We are in the business of treating sick people. We are not in the business of trying to prevent people from becoming sick.
When you look at chronic disease risk, all the things that we walk around worrying about, actually dietary choices trump smoking when it comes to those risks.
If I could deliver one message to the researchers who are looking for the cause of diabetes and the cause of clogged arteries and the cause of high blood pressure and the cause of obesity, I would tell them the answer is in 3 words. It's the food. It's what Americans are eating.
I get excited every time I hear this video because one doctor says we're not in the business of preventing sickness. We're in the business of treating sickness. And then the other doctor said it's the food. So one of the first things that we want to make sure that you learn is your blood type. Now, put in the chat, do you know your blood type? If you do, I want you to put in the chat, you're an A, you're a B, you're an AB, or you're an O. Now, if you do not know your blood type, I want you to put in the letters IDK. I don't know. If you're like myself, I did not know. And I did not even know that it was important for me to know. I mean, until we have a blood transfusion, we don't really think about it. But what we don't know is that our blood type is a more reliable measure of your identity, who you are, than your race, your culture, or your geography. It is your genetic blueprint. It's your blueprint of who you are, and it's a guide to how you can live most healthfully, because there are certain foods that are poisonous to certain blood types. I mean, for instance, if you're blood type A and you do bananas every single day, you love, love, love your bananas, and you're wondering why you're bloated, you're wondering why you've got some chronic diseases, yeah, it's toxic to your blood type. And so we provide you first and foremost with a blood type test in case you don't know, or if you think you know and you're not sure, it's just a 5-minute test. Everything comes along with it. Then we're going to provide you with the beneficial, nutritional, and avoid list. Things that you should have, things that you can have okay, and things that you might need to, minimize, if not necessarily even avoid, because of the antigen that's in your blood type that's not able to actually digest those particular things. And then you took the bioscan. Now, you may be here tonight because someone invited you to this presentation or this analysis, and if you have not had your bioscan, hopefully there is a coach in your area that can give you that bioscan, because we want you to get it. It's non-invasive, no radiation. It's based on Eastern medicine, and it only takes less than 2 minutes. And it's 85 to 95% accurate to show you what's going on in your body from the cellular level. This has become even more important to me as a person, to make sure every person I come in contact with can get this done. Just as recent as hearing about LeBron James' son having a cardiac arrest. And I was thinking, oh my God, if he had seen a bioscan, we could have shown him where there was some plaque building up around his heart as a young man, looking the picture perfect on the outside, but not knowing what's going on internally on the cellular level. So in the bioscan, this test is, of course, for reference only, and it's not a diagnostic conclusion, but in less than 2 minutes, we can show you just what's taking place. So now, I hope you have it on your phone, or you printed the papers out, whatever the case is, get ready. Let's go through it. So on the left-hand side, we're going to talk about the tested areas, those items that were tested. And then after that, we're going to look at the normal range. Now, the normal range is where we'd all like to be. That's based on testings that have been done. But the actual measurements, that's directly related to you. It's not generic. It's related to you. That's why you have to fill out paperwork and put in your name and everything, and your date of birth and your height and your weight. And we have to do it in centimeters and kilometers and all of that. And then we're going to look at the colors, because the colors make it simple and easy to understand. There are 4 colors: green, blue, yellow, and red. The green means normal, the blue means mildly abnormal, yellow moderately abnormal, and red severely abnormal. I also like to use the terminology out of balance. Out of balance or abnormality is not disease. It just means you're going in the wrong direction. It's like if I was driving to California and I'm going east, I need somebody to tap me on the shoulder and say, hello, you'll never get there because you're going in the wrong direction. So what do you have to do? Turn around. And that's what we're saying to you tonight. Wherever you see yourself, based on your scans, just know if you're going in the blue, the yellow, or the red, you're going in the wrong direction. But the good news is you can reverse it. Now, some of you look at your scan and you see some colors on the left-hand side and you see some colors on the right-hand side. The left means there's a decrease. The right means there's an increase. Another way of understanding that is that the left means whatever's on that side, whatever item that's being tested and it's on the left, it's not working efficiently or as efficient as we'd like for it to. Because typically we would love for everything to be right down the middle in the green. If it's on the right-hand side, it's overworking. It's the wonderful way that God has made our body. When something is not working as efficiently as it should, something else has to overwork just to keep us alive. So now let's look at the first report. The first report deals with the heart and the brain. And you see it says cardiovascular and cerebral vascular. That means heart and brain. Everything from the top all the way down to 2 from the bottom. The last 2 at the bottom deal with the brain. And we're talking about the blood vessels on it, the blood vessels around it. What we're looking for is where is that plaque, where are those toxins building up that's causing your blood to not flow properly, that's causing that oxygen not to get through, that's causing those nutrients to not get through. So first and foremost, we're going to look at these. I'm going to pair some of these up, blood viscosity and blood fat. Now, over on the right is probably where you see it if it's not in the green. If you're in the blue, the yellow, or the red, as it relates to blood viscosity, that means that around your heart, your blood is thicker than it needs to be. Especially if you're in the red. Especially if you're in the red, more than likely you're already on blood thinner. See, oftentimes we see things and we can relate to it because we're already dealing with it with our doctors. But they don't tell us necessarily what to do about it, except take a pill. And then when that pill doesn't work, then we're told what? To take another pill. Or we're on that blood thinner and that doesn't solve the problem, but it just puts a panacea on it, puts a Band-Aid on it. And why is it thicker? Well, probably because of that blood fat. More than likely, if your blood viscosity is up, your fatty tissues are up, and that comes directly related to what? Your diet. The doctor said it, it's the food. And then we got cholesterol. In the blue, the yellow, or the red, your cholesterol is up. Now, if you're in the yellow, you may be on already cholesterol medication, or your doctor has been alluding to get you on cholesterol medication. We have testimonies of people that have gone through our program after seeing this, and their cholesterol has dropped. Because we are showing you not only the problem or what's taking place, but the solution on how to get that cholesterol out, how to cleanse those vessels. They need to be cleansed out. They need to be flushed, just the same way you would if your faucet was clogged up. If your faucet was clogged up, would you not do something about it? Absolutely. You're going to flush it. You're going to put some Drano. You're going to get a plunger. Well, what do we do when ours is clogged up? Probably nothing, because we don't know it until we have a sign or a symptom. But it's happening because of our diet. If you're looking at these pictures and saying, that's what I had for breakfast, that's what I had for lunch, that's what I have on a regular basis, then that's why your cholesterol is up, because you're eating rich foods that are high in cholesterol. And please understand, I know how good they are. But at some point, we've got to take control of our own lives and realize that the only solution is not to take a pill, but we can make some dietary changes. Vascular resistance is our next thing on our report. Looking at yours, It should probably be, if it's not in the green, on the right, meaning your vascular resistance, which is usually related to blood pressure or stress. Well, why does it happen? Why do people have high blood pressure? What is the cause of it? It's plaque buildup on the walls of the arteries. And if it builds up too far, it goes to this fourth diagram here, where you see that blocked artery, and that's called a heart attack or a stroke. But guess what? We can remove the plaque. We can flush that plaque out. I talked about that drain. Let's get to put some Drano in it. No, not physically Drano in your body, but let's flush out those arteries and move it back to a healthy artery, get the plaque off the walls, and plaque is building up. And remember, I said over time. Vascular elasticity, coronary artery elasticity, and cerebral blood vessel elasticity. I'm going to look at all three of these together. Find those on your report. And if you're not in the green, then you're in the blue, the yellow, or the red to the left, meaning that blood vessel is not as elastic as it should be. All of our blood vessels should be elastic, like a rubber band. And when plaque starts building up, it's no longer elastic, it hardens. How many of you heard the terminology? Hardening of the arteries. So what's the solution again? Remove the plaque. Where does the plaque come from? It comes from our diet. It comes from the toxins that have built up. It comes from the mucus that's building up in our body. So now we need to remove the plaque, get our body, get our arteries back to elastic so that the blood is flowing evenly and flowing with no problem. But there were three of them. Vascular, around the heart. Coronary artery, on the heart. Same problem with elasticity. It's hardening, but now this particular artery is directly on the heart. And the third one is the cerebral blood vessel elasticity. If you know anything about any of these terminologies, cerebral means what? Brain. So now we want to get rid of this plaque because that's plaque buildup directly on the brain. And when those toxins are flowing and they're going in our body, going through our blood vessels, they can move in any of these three areas. And the next thing we hear about is a person having a stroke or a heart attack or an aneurysm. Now, the next one we're going to look at is myocardial blood demand. Myocardial blood demand. Look at your report. Do you see it in the blue, the yellow, or the red on the right-hand side? Every 60 seconds, the heart demands a certain amount of blood to get to the heart. And here again, God's going to keep us alive. So what happens? It overworks. Why is it overworking? If you look at the rest of your chart, you'll see why it's overworking. If that elasticity is on the left, it's overworking because you've got hardening arteries, or it's overworking because of the plaque buildup around the walls of the elasticity, or because of the cholesterol. Now this is having to work hard to get the amount of blood that's required every 60 seconds just to keep you alive. So we're feeling the chest pains. We're feeling light little pains in the heart. We just ignore them. We just, calm ourselves down and think it's going to be all right. And over time, we've got to make the changes. And then we talk about myocardial blood perfusion volume. Every time you hear that word myocardial, we're talking about how healthy your heart is. You're looking at your report. And if it's not in the green and it's in the blue, the yellow, or the red towards the left, then guess what? We need to get your heart in a more healthy place because this particular area is about the blood flow. And every time blood flows through your body, it's supposed to flow through and bring in that oxygen and bring in those nutrients. But when it gets blocked because of that plaque buildup, it's no longer having the perfect flow that we need. And the oxygen consumption, every time the heart contracts, there's a certain amount of oxygen that's supposed to come to the heart. And when we are not, when we have toxins build up, as we looked at all those other areas that we talked about, now our heart has to overwork to provide us with the oxygen that we need to keep us going. Stroke volume. Now, people see this and immediately think, oh, am I having a stroke? I'm in the red, I'm in the yellow. No, every time your heart contracts, it represents a stroke. Every time it beats, that's one stroke. And if you did that bioscan, you probably heard the beepings, possibly, if they had the volumes turned up. And we want that to be better. We want you to stroke better, right? Exercise helps that. Pump power. We want that thing pumping better. And if you're in the yellow or the red, here's my solution. It's an easy one. Exercise. Exercise is not to look good. It's to feel good. It's to increase your amount of health that's taking place in your body, whatever it is you're doing, whether it's jumping on a rebounder, whether it's doing on a treadmill, whether it's sitting at home in a chair, doing a chair exercise with a video. And then if you're already doing exercises, here's my challenge to you. Intensify, do some HIIT, some high intensity, just in spurts. If you're on the treadmill doing three reps of whatever the 3 speed, then every 30 minutes, raise it up to 4. Make your heart do more. Because sometimes people are runners and your heart can get used to doing a certain kind of thing, and you've got to change the pace and make that heart say, whoa, hold up, I got to catch up, right? And now you get your heart in a more healthy place. Next, we're looking at the left ventricular ejection impedance. That word impedance means blockage. And if it's on the right-hand side in the blue, the yellow, or red, guess what? There is a blockage in the left ventricle of your heart. Why is that important? Because blood flows from the left ventricle to all the other areas of your heart, of your body. I was talking to a lady the other day, and she said she has really bad blood flow in her legs, and she doesn't know why. Well, see, if you got a blockage in the left ventricle, your heart is having to work harder to get that blood flow and the oxygen necessary and the nutrients necessary to the rest of your body. Where does blood flow? It flows all over our body. Then we got coronary perfusion pressure. You know, have you ever been that place where you just feel something going on in your body and don't know why? And here it is, the heart, the pressure, because of that plaque buildup, because of those toxins build up in the blood vessels, it's putting pressure on those walls. So we've got to clean up the whole arteries all over our heart so that we can live a better lifestyle. And last but not least, brain tissue blood supply status. Listen, that speaks for itself. We need a better blood supply through the brain tissue, because if we don't, we have blood clots. And blood clots leads to strokes, leads to aneurysms. Have you ever been on the phone with somebody one day and the next day you get a phone call and they had an aneurysm? Nothing you could see on the outside can indicate that. But thank God for this bioscan that shows us. So much for the cardiovascular and the cerebral vascular. Let's talk about the gut now. Why is the gut important to me? Because if we had better gut health, ladies and gentlemen, we would have not been as such having just a frenzy during the pandemic, because 70% of our immune system is in our gut. So we need these reports to show us ahead of time, where am I as it relates to my gut? We already know how we feel here in the stomach area, but do we understand why? Looking at your report on these areas, pepsin secretion coefficient, that's the first one. What is that? Is it in the yellow? Is it in the red? Is it in the yellow like this particular report, or is it in the red or the blue? If it's not in the green, pepsin is an enzyme. I want to call it like a Pac-Man inside your gut that's doing the process of chewing your food for you. Because first and foremost, we don't chew it. This enzyme is responsible for breaking down the protein in your body during digestion. So when we're eating protein, we're taking it in. Your meat, yeah, your beef, your chicken, your pork, your turkey. When I say animal protein, I'm talking about anything that's got eyes. So don't tell me I don't do beef, but you do chicken, you do pork, you do turkey, you do all of these others. And here's this pepsin's job is to break it down. Now, over time, just think about how much we eat. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or whenever it is that you do eat. And this particular enzyme is saying, I'm so tired. I'm so tired of working. And so now it has slowed down. It's not working as properly as it should. So now you're not digesting like you should, or you're not having bowel movements like you should, or you're constipated. All of these things are taking place in our body, and it's basically designed just because this particular enzyme is not getting the job done anymore because it's overworked. So we need to give it a break. First and foremost, give it a break. And secondly, clean up our whole digestive tract. And then there's a muscle that's supposed to move the food down through your digestive tract, and it's called the peristalsis. Looking at your report, is it in the blue, the yellow, or the red? That peristalsis, if it's not moving that body through, guess what? You're stopped up. You're feeling bloated. Matter of fact, the food might be coming back up. That's called acid reflux. Or it's not coming through. You're just feeling bloated right here in your stomach. Every time you eat certain things, it's just sitting there, right? So we've got to cleanse and detox the whole digestive area, and we've got to learn how to eat. The Mayo Clinic says it takes about 36 hours for food to make it through the entire colon. Who on this call waits 36 hours before you eat? No, we eat several times, multiple times within that period of time. And until we clean it out, it's like having a toilet you never flushed. It gets backed up. And we got to learn that everything that we eat has its own digestion time. I mean, let's just say you eat some watermelon or you eat some strawberries, and fruit digests very, very easily. But now you add some rice to it and it says, hold up, rice has priority. So I got to let this fruit sit here and wait for the rice to digest. And then you eat some chicken or some beef and it says, hold up, watermelon, strawberries, rice, y'all got to hold up because now the meat has to take priority. And that food and the strawberries and all that begin to ferment inside of your digestive tract, and you wonder why you got bad breath, because you got fermented food, fermented fruit in your digestive tract. We hold 10 to 12 pounds of waste in our gut, because if you're like me, had never done a cleanse. And so now I can tell the difference even in my digestive tract because of doing a cleanse. And so understanding this makes a difference, because our normal body temperature is 98.5, 98.6. So guess what? Every time you eat any animal, anything that's got eyes, that includes the fish as well, anything that has a higher body temperature than ours, our body works harder to break it down. All the animals have proteins and oils in them. So your body has to break it down for you to digest it. So when you eat the cow's body temperature is higher than ours, so our body has to work harder. The pig, much higher. The turkey, even higher. Now you wonder why we go to sleep after we eat that turkey dinner during Thanksgiving. Not just because of your race, your creed, or your color. It's because of the body having to work and do all of that extra effort to break it down. And the chicken, oh my God, did you know it's higher than the turkey, the pig, and the cow? And then you wonder why fish is so easy to digest. Because the temperature of the fish is lower than our own body temperature. So it makes it easier to digest. Now, I love this video. Just short video, check this out. So he can't catch him. He can't catch him. Why? Because he's a carnivore. He eats flesh. The lion eats flesh. The gazelles eat plants, and they're much faster. They're much lighter. So in the gastrointestinal area, the pepsin, the peristalsis, and the absorption, don't let me forget about absorption, because oftentimes we're not absorbing, even if we eat good things or if we take vitamins, if you're clogged up, you're not absorbing those particular things. And then the small intestines, the same thing. So when you're looking at your report tonight, and you're looking at this pepsin, this peristalsis, the absorption in your gastrointestinal area, in your small intestines, take special note of where it is to know that this is the reason we've got to flush it out. And then the large intestines, same concept, the peristalsis, the absorption. If you're not breaking it down, if you're not flowing, if you're not digesting properly, there is a reason behind this madness. And it's related to our diet. It's related to the food that's just sitting there in the large intestinals, and it's creating even intestinal bacteria over time. And it's related, there's some foods that just immediately give us, I mean, folks that smoke, folks that drink, folks that have stress in your life, yes. It even affects your digestive tract. And then last but not least is that it's intraluminal pressure. Just imagine the walls of your intestines. I mean, if you took your intestines and just stretched them out, they say that there would be the length of a quarter of a football field, but it's not stretched out like that. It's squiggly. It's all inside of us, right? And so those walls can only spread so far, and that pressure gets on us, and now we feel that in our stomach, we feel it in our large intestines because the pressure of the food has been sitting there. That's why we must cleanse. We must detox. We must flush out our intestines. The next report we're looking at is the liver. Now, the liver is, to me, really one of the most important reports that I look at, because on the average person that I talk to, they already have a fatty liver. And some of them already know it because their doctor tells them. But your liver it relates to so much. So whatever you saw in the previous reports, a lot of it stems from what we're going to see right here in the liver, because it relates to your protein metabolism, your energy production, and your detoxification function. Because the job of the liver is to do what your filter does in your car. Every 3,000 or 4,000 miles, you change the oil in your car, and they also change the oil filter. Now, just imagine if they didn't change the filter and they only changed the oil and they sent clean oil through a dirty filter, what would you have? Dirty oil. Same thing with our body. The job of the liver is to filter the blood. So the job is to filter out. It's the detoxer for us. It's to detoxify things that are coming in that we take in, like the toxins and like the plaque buildup. But if it's not functioning properly, guess what? It's allowing them to get straight through. And that's why we saw things we saw in the heart, and we saw in all these other areas of our body. And then bile secretion function. We need bile, but many of us don't get it, number one, because we don't drink enough water. Approximately 85% of bile is made from water. And bitter foods. Oh, I'm so guilty. Don't like bitter foods, but they're great in stimulating bile production that we need to help us in the area of our liver. Dark green leafy vegetables like beetroots and artichokes. And some of these are the things that we have a part of our program. That's why people get fantastic results when they do our program, because it helps them to increase the bile that they need. And then last but not least, really, this is the thing right here. In the liver function, liver fat. 95% of the people that I scan on a day-to-day basis, have a fatty liver. I had a lady, she sat right next to me. I showed her, she looked at her scan and it was in the yellow. I said, you have a fatty liver. She said, my doctor told me that. I said, what did he tell you to do? He said, we're gonna watch it. What are we gonna watch it do? We're gonna watch it until it progresses to liver fibrosis. We're going to watch it until it becomes cirrhosis, because see, most of us, if you like, I'm a baby boomer. I was taught that the only people that had cirrhosis of the liver were those who were alcoholics. But guess what? Non-alcoholic fatty liver disease is a disease. And it's just a fatal condition it's just like you had a bottle of vodka every day. It does that kind of damage to your liver, because that fatty liver, all it is deposits of fatty tissues that cause that liver to harden. And when it hardens, it's no longer filtering. So like I said before, it's allowing those toxins to go straight on through all the way to your heart, all the way to your brain. But what if we could cleanse the liver? What happens if we detox that liver? And then we move back. Everything we talk about tonight, regardless of what your scan report says, it's reversible. So let's reverse this. Let's reverse non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. And when you're looking at your report, if you're in the blue, if you're in the yellow, if you're in the red, even if you're in the blue, I don't want you to just say, oh, mine's in the blue, I'm all right. It's progressive. If it's in the blue, it's going in the wrong direction. So let's reverse that thing. Kidney. My father passed away on dialysis. Yes, on dialysis, not because he was a terrible eater, although he did eat fried foods, but his kidneys became damaged because if I could have done this scan, I'm sure that this index right here probably would have been way over to the right, because it's really related to the chemicals from medication that cause this index to go up. And then because he was a meat eater, he was an avid meat eater, he liked his pork chops and his fried chicken and he liked his steak, His uric acid probably would have been over to the right. It probably would have been in the place or where it was definitely high, right? And here's the thing about uric acid. If your uric acid is not in the green, understand what uric acid does. It crystallizes and it gets in the joints. And then it goes down to the big toe and it's called gout. So if you're looking at your uric acid and it's in the blue, it's progressing in the wrong direction on the right. If it's in the yellow, it's definitely progressing and it's directly related to your animal protein. And if it's in the red, guess what? You're a meat lover. You don't even have to tell me. I know you are. And then the blood urea nitrogen, this index, all of these are so related to how well your kidneys are functioning and what level you're on as it relates to moving towards kidney disease. Because even when we get excess protein, we get too much protein. We eat our meat, we eat all the things that give us protein. Guess what? Our body makes protein naturally. And when we get too much of it, it bleeds over into the urine. And now we're in the progress or the progression of kidney disease. This does not happen overnight. Nobody is on dialysis overnight. It's over time. And so now, because it's over time, we find ourselves on the man-made filtration system. That's what dialysis is. Because your body is no longer filtering on its own, but it's now with the help of machine. And then what's the next step is to get a kidney transplant, right? And now you got to have medication to keep that going. Listen, let's do something about it. We can reverse this. And the last report we're going to talk about is whether your body is acidic or alkaline. Now, how many of you have heard that terminology, acidic or alkaline? But do you understand what that means? You go to the store, you buy the Duracell battery, and it's called what? An alkaline battery. And you put it in a player. We used to put it in boom boxes back in the day, or your remote control, or whatever it is, and it plays 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 and it plays. Yeah, because it loses its alkalinity. It's acidic now because it's no longer having the power. It happens to our body. It happens to our body because of our diet, because of the toxins that build up, and because of stress. Yes, stress. Stress is a silent killer, guys. If you have a stressful job, if you have a stressful relationship, if you have a stressful people in your life, do de-stress. I didn't say go get a divorce. I just said you got to do something to de-stress. You got to put on a comedy, get on the floor and roll. Laughter does good like medicine. You've got to, if you can't take a vacation, I tell people put a picture of the Bahamas on the wall and get in your bathtub and act like a duck. Do something to de-stress. But we've shown you here in this report, this last report, where you are is your body acidic. Even when it comes to response, the responsibility, the mental power, the water shortage, the hypoxia, when your body's acidic, all of that is off. You're not responding, you're reacting. Everything's teeing you off. Everything's making you go crazy. Your mental power, you're not as sharp as you should be. Your water shortage that's supposed to protect your cells. You need more water, and the hypoxia, the oxygen that's designed to protect your cells. If your body's in an acidic state, you don't have enough of that to happen because guess what? That pH is off. And look at the pH. Look at it. Is it in the red or the green? That's it. There is no gray area here. There's no yellow and there's no blue. It's either green or it's red. Either your body's acidic or your body's alkaline. Why is that important? Because disease cannot dwell in an alkaline environment. Yes, you heard me right. Those disease cells will die in an alkaline environment. But if you're living on the left side of the spectrum, 3, 4, 5, and 6, that's where you spend most of your time. That's where most of your lifestyle is in your diet. Yes, 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 I understand. Then that's what opens up the door for an acidic atmosphere and environment, and disease thrives there. But when we switch it over, and that's what our program does, it helps you live more on the right side of the spectrum. So we can stop eating the crap. Stop eating the carbonated drinks, the refined sugars, the artificial foods, the processed foods. Go to the grocery store and walk around the store and stop going down the middle aisles because that's where all the crap is. And heed to the warning. I live in Houston, and when we have hurricanes, there's a warning. There's a hurricane warning. There are tornado warnings. And when we hear those warnings, we do something. The hurricane may not come, and we don't even know if it's going to hit or not, but we go to the store, we get groceries, we get water, we get batteries, we prepare for it. I am just sharing with you tonight to not hear this information and do nothing, but make some changes. What are those changes? Flush your body. Flush your body, cleanse your body. Let's get the toxins and the mucus out. Let's get the waste and the parasites out. Let's get the plaque out. Let's cleanse, let's juice, let's eat fruits, and let's eat vegetables, and let our body reset. Did I say forever? No, let's take some time and reset the body. Now, you say, how do we do that? Well, I've got a lady that's going to help me talk about that tonight. She's a mother, she's a grandmother, she's an entrepreneur, she's an econopreneur, she's a certified wellness coach. I love her, I love her, I love her. I respect her so highly. Named Miss Anna Gallagher. Miss Anna, are you there?
Yes, Roz. Yes, I'm here. Good evening, everyone. What is a detox? A detox is the process of moving toxins, a generic term for something that makes you feel unwell from your body. Your body does this automatically. So that's the job of the liver and other organs. If you eat something you're not supposed to, or if you take too much medication, the liver helps metabolize everything. What to expect? You will release unwanted waste, reduce belly fat. Everyone wants to do that, and supercharge your system. Also known as our age reversal detox. This will help you reset your body and promote the feeling of biological age reversal. You will release unwanted waste, reduce belly fat, and supercharge your system. Phase 3 includes every guidance and expert guidance and coaching with your assigned coach. Please visit online at www.flatbellylifestyle.com to register for your Phase 3 ebook. This will allow. We're going to go on to, there's 2 different resets. You have the 7-day refresh or 21-day reset. Both of these include your meal plan, your grocery list, and proven products to jumpstart your healthy journey, or to repair and renew and reset. Lose unwanted pounds on the 7-day refresh. Refresh the mind, the body, and the soul in just 7 days. In the 21 days, you reduce belly fat and inflammation and drop the waist in 21 days. Take our 7 or 21-day raw cleanse. One of the best ways to elevate your energy is by detoxifying your body. Number 1, it is going to be our eliminator, This removes mucus and parasites. This is a powder. 1 teaspoon a day and 8 ounces of water every morning will take care of the mucus and the parasites. Number 2, cleanse. This is our purifier. This cleanses the colon and the body organs with our purified liquid colonic tea. It's a tea bag in this. You drop it in 45 ounces of water after it boils, and then you use only 4 ounces the first day twice, and 6 days after, or either 20 days after, you use 4 ounces before 8 o'clock in the evening. 3, nourish yourselves with 3 smoothies a day. Just add water, greens, and fruit, superfood, and plant protein. And number 4, our new Arona berry juice. This is our regenerator. The step 3 is nothing there but vitamins and minerals. The items showing are some of the things that's in there. This is also a powder. You're going to do 2 teaspoons every day, 3 times a day with your juices. And then we've discovered the most powerful superfruit on the planet. Step 4, it's optional, but I'm telling you, it's delicious. You got to do it. Arona berry juice. It accelerates weight loss, tastes delicious. It only takes 1.5 ounce twice a day. The ORAC score 41,000 plus, and it reduces inflammation. Let's listen to what Farmer Tony has to say about it.
I was looking for something natural. I'm not into the prescription scene, and with family members that had issues in my immediate family, serious sicknesses that led to death, and so I started searching for something that was natural. And I've been looking and studying and researching antioxidants, and I came across Aronia berry, and I saw that it had the highest antioxidant rating of any other fruit on planet Earth. Anthocyanins are found in the plant world, and raspberries, they've got anthocyanins in them. Blueberries have anthocyanins in them. But in the Aronia berry, it has anywhere from 20 times to 2,000 times the anthocyanin content in Aronia is what these other fruits do. Anthocyanins are very powerful anti-inflammatories. Science has revealed that they help everything from the eye, the brain, the heart, the circulatory. It also aids in increasing the immune system, strengthen the immune system. The other thing I noticed that did is help my eyesight. For me, that was very important. And then what I saw from being able to rest a full 8 hours a night. I was a 5 to 6 hour guy, and I was able to sleep for 8 hours and had plenty of energy for the next day. And it acts as a cellular protection. I think all of our, when we talk about drugs and medicines and stuff, a lot of times we don't get to the root cause. And so we need to get to the root cause, which is at the cellular level. And Aronia is a cell protective, the compounds of Aronia are cell protective, so that when we have a mutated cell, the Aronia can actually stop it from mutating. It protects other cells to keep that mutation from invading other cells. And the other thing I noticed that for me, I think my heart rate, my blood pressure, my cholesterol levels, all those things seem to be modifying once I got on this regimen of the Aronia juice twice a day. And we always recommend that you drink that shot glass, about a half an hour before you eat a meal. Because these antioxidants, these anthocyanins and proanthocyanins and the flavonols, all these polyphenolic substances that are found in Aronia are water-soluble antioxidants, so they absorb into the system very quickly. And that's, I think, is really important to do. If you get it in while you're eating, some people like to do it like, maybe an hour after they eat, which is fine. But if you get it on empty stomach, these compounds will absorb into your body much quicker. This study came out back in, I believe, 2009 that showed by adding a small portion of a lemon juice to the Aronia increased the absorption rate through the blood-brain barrier of these anthocyanins and proanthocyanidins. Many of our customers that have bought in the past have had to have their blood pressure medicines lowered, and their if they're on a blood thinner of some sort like a Coumadin, they've had to have that lowered because the Aronia compounds have been studied extremely large. A number of studies have shown that Aronia helps with the circulatory, with the relaxing of the blood vessels and the arteries, as well as the heart and the brain. So yes, you want to monitor that with your blood pressure and making sure that that's stays in the range that need it to be.
What you will need: alkaline water. You can have a refill for $5 with a 5-gallon jug. Blender or shaker ball bottle. Spinach, kale, mixed greens, or arugula salad per day with red onions, veggies, and vegan dressing. Bananas, avocados, fresh and frozen fruit, pecans, walnuts, almonds, raw almond butter, flaxseed or flaxseed oil, flat daily 7-day refresh or 21-day reset. Stores to purchase additional items: Amazon, Trader Joe's, H-E-B, Whole Foods, or the store of your choice. Free grocery guide. Download your free guide to a plant-based lifestyle, grocery list included. The download is free. Free group coaching. Need extra guidance? Join us every Sunday live on Zoom. Register. These are what I call our flat belly warriors. They have went on the flat belly 7 or 21 day and see how they've lost. We're showing before and afters. These are not actors. These are real people that have gotten in Apana and they're resetting their life. And here's a word from our CSO who took the pledge, and she'll let you know what happened.
I was able to lose 14 pounds, 6 inches. And I love the way I look. I'm not gonna lie, I am loving this. But let me tell you what I love even more. I dropped my cholesterol 50 points, blood pressure stabilized. And my doctor and I have been fighting for the last 5 years because she wanted to put me on a statin, and I absolutely refused. And she told me I would never change my cholesterol, lower it by diet alone. Well, you can know how excited I felt when I had dropped it 50 points. I want to be optimally healthy until the day I just close my eyes and I'm not here anymore.
Okay, back to you, Dr. Ross, our awesome mentor and teacher.
All right, thank you, Miss Anna. You dropped the mic as always. I appreciate you so much. And so, guys, listen. You've heard that. You've heard the testimonies. You've heard the products that we need. But here's what I need you to focus on. You took the scan, and you probably took a few pictures. But there's a bigger report, and I'm sure there's some other things you really should get information about your gallbladder and your thyroid and your bone density. Your blood sugar. What about the vitamin deficiency? You want to know what vitamins that you're deficient in. You want to know what trace elements that are not in your body as like they need to be, so you can make necessary changes. You also want to know what's going on, even maybe with your eyes or allergies, what's causing allergies, what's causing fatty acids. And if you're a woman, you want to know what's going on in the area of your breasts and your gynecology. And if you're a man, you want to know what's going on as it relates to your prostate. Well, guess what? When you did that bioscan, all of these reports, over 45 different organs of reports, are made available to you for just less, $30. Let's just round that off, one more penny, right? $30. So get back with the person who scanned you, and they can make sure that you get this full bioscan report. And if you didn't know your blood type, let me tell you something, you got to know. Because you could be eating foods that are toxic to your blood and don't even know it. You're eating in the blind, and you're committing that suicide with your fork. Yes. So you want to know what your blood type is, and it's actually less than that $20 on the website of the person that invited you here. They've got a website who referred you, and they can help you get your blood type testing kit. It takes about 5 minutes. Everything that you need to do the blood type kit is right there. You can do it yourself, or you can get them to do it for you. Whatever the case is, everything that you need is in that kit. Now, let's get ready to cleanse. Let's get ready to detox our bodies. Let's get ready to do the refresh or the reset. The reset for that 21 days is just $350. Yep, $350, and you're going to get the eliminator, you're going to get the regenerator, you're going to get the purifier, and you're going to get the hemp meal replacement, along with a couple of bottles, or because we got larger bottles now, it may be one bottle, but a couple of bottles of the juice, the aronia berry juice, that is going to be amazing. And you will start put yourself in a position that wonderful testimonies. Now, if you're like some people, they feel like, I don't know if I can go raw for 21 days. Well, listen, start somewhere. Start at least with the 7-day raw cleanse for $139 and get enough of these meal replacements and the things that you need, these products, to go in your juice or in your smoothie, so that you can, for 7 days, get going. And then decide, in a couple of months, do another 7 days. or in 3 months, do another 7 days. But begin to make the changes necessary to flush out your body. I just don't want you to leave here knowing what you've seen in your own report and do nothing. But either way you do it, let's get started, because a detox is your opportunity to give your body a break. Our bodies need a break, guys. And we got to allow our bodies to self-cleanse and to self-heal itself, to kick us into gear so that we can have the great effects other than just weight loss. It's not just about weight loss, because when you do the cleanse, it gives you mental clarity during it and afterwards. So welcome, excited to have you here tonight. Get back with the person who gave you that scan or who referred you here tonight, and let's elevate together and be a part of our family.